Welcome to Half-Life Alyx, a Valve game that is made of work, beauty, and work again. It is 5 years before the events of Half-Life 2 and the collapse of the Citadel. Before we start, take a breath on how great this game looks. All done? Alright, let's get into it. We begin by talking to my dad and then immediately hanging up. I already know not to have parties while he's not home. After a $12 million window cleaner passed by, I spy someone who apparently knows my name and runs off without saying goodbye. How rude.
This doesn't seem like a routine sweep. Are you sure everything went okay?
I then see some civil protection units baiting adults into their van with candy. I'm pretty sure that's legal at least. And, I mean, come on. Of course, you gotta remember, this is a Half-Life game. You gotta drink a bit. It gets stressful at times.
Cheers, man!
I can't say this enough, but the immersion in this game is just absolutely amazing and immersive. Like, it really reminds me that I'm playing a Half-Life game. I then drop into an elevator and I find some Combine soldiers, but these Combine soldiers were a bit lenient because I kept trying to grab this guy's gun. But I was still hit with a shocky stick and they lured me off screen with candy into their van.
Where are you taking me?
We then meet our two Uber drivers, Daniel and Jared. Then I see an everyday suicidal drone with a grenade, and our two Uber drivers, Jared and Daniel, were trying to throw it out, but it was too late. The grenade had exploded the van with me in it. But of course, this is a Half-Life game, so I checked the front to see if Jared and Daniel were okay, and they were sleeping. How nice. The drone then offered me an Xbox 360 headset and freed me out of the van. After going down a slide in the park, the drone was then deactivated by a Strider. One graceful landing and Grandma's ashes out the window later, I then meet Russell, my dad's totally sober friend and our Discord moderator for the rest of the game. He tells me his plan on how us, well, me, to both rescue my dad and how he will take over Discord and moderate every server that exists. Right before I obtain the gravity gloves, I offer Russell an extension to his gaming chair, which he didn't like. I now feel rejected. I then slapped on those bad boys and calibrated them without missing a single shot.
Now close your hand, just like that. Try again. Boom. Yep, perfect. We're done. Oh, wait. I almost forgot.
After I calibrated them, Russell decided it would be a good idea to yeet a gun out the window onto the car next to me and almost shoot me in the face. Okay, so before we continue, I will be using a glitch that I showed in a previous video. It's a glitch that gives you pretty much infinite ammo for the pistol, but I'm a quote-unquote good person, so I'm only going to give myself 100 bullets. Remember that this challenge is in hard mode and I'm not going to upgrade my pistol. Either way, hate me if you want, but this isn't really that much of a game changer. It only helps me slightly, but anyway, moving on. I get onto the train in the back and take a nap on the way there. Only to be woken up rather quickly because the train stopped. I had no choice but to continue on foot. Literally 3 seconds in, and I find a man who looked to be at a 1990s high school slumber party. I'm sure he smoked because his lungs were exposed. Don't smoke, kids. Shortly after, I find some resin, which, as you know, if I took, would be a naughty no-no, so I chucked it onto Thomas the train. When I'm stopped on my tracks by a Combine door, the game introduces me to a cool mechanic, rewiring. These kinds of mechanics make Half-Life Alyx what it is, a great VR game. Past the door, the game also introduces me to a health station, explaining to me that alien bug juice is good for your hands and your hands only. I then find two barnacles, probably the most terrifying creature and coolest improvement from Half-Life 2. I then found a zombie who was probably in a 1980s slumber party, because he was hanging off the window. After I gently throw him onto the ground, I remind him that cutting your nails is very important for your health, and I recommend him my favorite, 1 second. Manicurist. The more you know. After aligning an alien ant farm, the vault door to the secrets of a specific virus I know opens, and I head on inside to immediately find a red barrel and shoot it at first sight, because red in video games mean explosions, which means dopamine. I then find my first living zombie, who gave me some ammo by letting me shoot him in the face.
Seems to work. Let's keep doing that.
Look, a combine fabricator. Goodbye, combine fabricator. Yeah, since we're using no upgrades, we are never going to use these ever. At least they have cute drones or robots on top, whatever they are. I then ask a zombie for his head crab, which he agreed to because he decided to lie on the ground to take a nap, leaving his head crab behind. Okay, enough jokes for a second. Here, I couldn't tell if the zombies were stuck on each other or they thought I was one of them, because they were moving slightly forward, but only when I took off the head crab, they started to attack and groan. I'm not sure if this is the feature or not, but nonetheless, it's a very strange and interesting encounter. Shortly after, I came across my first living head crab, who teleported? I then find a head crab who doesn't do witchcraft and is trying to practice the level 1 mind control spell by jumping on my head. I then found a zombie that pulled an all-nighter, so I offered him a drink that he dropped. But it's okay, he's just tired. He deserved the spanking.
Oh, no, please, no!
Apparently Russell and Alyx are quite used to seeing green floaty magic on garbage because they weren't freaking out, but I sure was. I then found symbols on a wall that represent 3 of my school teachers. This one represents my Spanish teacher, this one represents my amazing math teacher, and this one is my science teacher spitting out facts that may be useless. I then find a pretty awesome looking front door and rung the bell. There was a Vortigaunt who apparently knew my name.
The Alyx Vance.
I'm pretty sure that he's the Gordon Ramsay of Vortigaunts due to the abundance of head crabs and heart ripping.
Cooking.
He also does some witchcraft. How nice. He basically told me that the other Vortigaunts have been captured and I need to free them. Then he tells me my dad is probably dead.
He is dead.
What?
Or he will be.
Lays his head against the wall. Then he used his green shocky Vortigaunt magic on the wall so I can continue through the next chapter of the game. And in this chapter, we get introduced to a new gun, the shotgun. Obviously, I'm not going to use this weapon, so I wait for the zombies to break down the walls, or so I thought. The game forces you to pick up the shotgun and load it. After I load it, I immediately shoot the roof because I hate the sun, and then took out my pistola to put the zombies to sleep. From this point on, I will never take out the shotgun and never grab ammo for it. I then find a zombie hanging off of, I'm pretty sure it's snot? He was carrying a flashlight, and I also figure out here that the game is pretty weird with player triggers. Watch this. For some reason, the headcrabs wanted to have a high school 2023 slumber party, so I didn't bother and walked right past them. But to make sure the party didn't get out of control, I took out my pistol and shot an explosive barrel. I then injected myself with more alien bug juice. After that, I find the first of many spinny blades of death known as manhacks. Then I found some more, killed a few zombies and a head crab, and found more manhacks. So many.
What manner of witchcraft is this?
After opening a garage door that leads me to my future death, I find many explosives that I shouldn't shoot because I would hurt the cute barnacles. No other reason. 2 seconds in the room of death, and me and Russell are already talking about finances and how people are going to rebuild Earth's economy, and he rejects me to be his business partner. I am still emotionally recovering from that. After getting wombo comboed by a zombie and a barnacle, I asked the barnacle for the valve, slapped it onto the slot, and moved on to the next area. And that, my friends, is going to be it for the very first episode of this Half-Life Alyx challenge. I know that this is a bit different from what I usually do, but I wanted to make something different today. And yes, I will still do Terraria videos, not moving away from that, but I absolutely love this game, and I had so much fun making this video. Please do let me know in the comments what you thought of this video, what to improve, what to change, and if I should edit or make videos like this in the future. But with that, enjoy a few lines that didn't make it into the video, and have a great day. I'm sure he smoked because his lungs were exposed. What? What? I'm sure he smoked because his lungs were exposed. What? I said it again. God dang it. After that, I find the first of many spinny blades of death's notified. But soon, to make sure the party didn't get out of hand, I took out my pistol and shot the explosive barrel. Frick. Ah! I'm pretty sure he's the Gordon Ramsay of Vortigaunts. I can't speak today. Good God.